Hey everybody, welcome back. I have another black box unboxing and review for you today. This is my e-case, and as you can see, all the cars are already out of the box. No, fortunately, I did not fall victim to one of the return boxes that people have been getting, but I did film this video already, and to be honest with you, I just didn't like the way it turned out, so we're going to do it again. And so one thing I didn't mention in the last video, and I don't think I even noticed until it was already done, Amazon actually sent me my F case box before my E case box. I don't know, not really seen that happen to anybody else. I'm sure it probably has, but just kind of odd. Again, it did come in this white wrapping. For those of you not familiar, since we're looking at the cars, I'll go ahead and say these boxes are exclusive from Amazon. They are exclusive to the US as far as I know. And it's basically just 16 cars, mainline cars. They have a box for each case that Hot Wheels releases. At least that's the way they're doing it so far. And these are all going to be new castings or new colors for that case. And so you shouldn't have any duplicates in between cases at all. There's also a chance for not only treasure hunts, but super treasure hunts. And I'll talk a little bit more about my experience with that toward the end of the video. But right now, let's just go ahead and take a look at these cars. And a disclaimer, I actually found 2 fresh e-cases in my local Walmart today, but I've ran into several e-cases already, so if I seem a little disappointed, to me the e-case is kind of one of the more lackluster ones we've had this year anyway. Plus, I've recently went through it and got everything I want out of it. And, you know, the e-case in the store still has some good stuff from the D case as well, which kind of, I think, hurts this also. But as I said, we'll talk about that more here in a minute. Ice Shredder, fantasy casting, pretty cool. I don't remember seeing this one before. I'm sure I probably have. Obviously, it's not a new casting, but my little boy will like this one. We usually do a lot of stuff around holidays, like snow and ice themed dioramas and tracks, stunts, and things like that. So he'll be happy to get that. Have the 68 Mazda Cosmo. This would have been the super treasure hunt if we had got one in this box. And if you're an astute observer and you know what you're looking for, you do see that we did not get either a super treasure hunt nor a treasure hunt in this box. So, anyway, if this had been a super, it would have had a little bit darker, like a more metallic paint and Real Rider rubber tires. But this mainline has really good detail. I'm not familiar with this car. I have no lies to tell about it. Really looks like something you might have seen in like the American 50s. So pretty cool little ride. And I do like the coloration on it. Batmobile. I think I showed this in another video the other day and talked about, I kind of like the orange on it. And the more I've looked at it, I think it reminds me of some armor from one of the Halo video games. So pretty cool. If you've played, you probably know what I'm talking about. But this looks like maybe one of the helmets or something, you know, with that orange visor. Have here the Audi RS e-tron. And these guys have a pretty solid following. Not a bad looking car if you're into them. Pretty good wheel choice. Nice details on the front and back. And good color. Nice clean color. Have Drone Duty. Mock It Go. El Segundo Coupe, which is new for 23. This is a continuation of the Coupe clip that we had last year. Really good looking car. I think I said in another video, I was told this is based off of an Opel, and I can kind of see that. It does have that look to it. And also kind of, I know it's not based off of a Lamborghini, but it kind of gives me Lamborghini vibes with the way the headlights are set up and the curves. Really nice looking casting though, especially for a fantasy car. And we have this 18 Copo Camaro. I actually found this in a 9-pack the other day. Really good looking casting. I like the color, I like the tampos on it. It's pretty good setup overall. 55 Chevy Bel Air Gasser. Of course, standard gasser, what we have these days. I do like this yellow color. The only thing I wish they'd done different is either clear or dark glass on here. I think it would have looked a lot better. If it's a licensed car, I don't know why they don't just go ahead and do that. But, you know, I'm not the one making the vehicles. They are. I do like the added stripe up here. I think it's a good looking car overall. 32 Ford. Normally I like this casting, but for some reason, I don't know if it's the white or what the deal is, but I've just been overlooking this on the pegs. It's just not really eye catching to me. It is a good looking car. The decal, the tampo here looks good. There's just something about it that's just not like just grabbing my attention. It's just kind of a solid out there casting. Have the 70 Dodge Hemi Challenger. This I think is kind of an underrated car. There's a lot of detail on the side, on the hood. Nice choice of wheels. There's no paint or tampos on the front or on the back, but they're really detailed. You could really take that out, do a wheel swap with it, use some paint pens, make that a really nice looking car. Have this coloration of the DeLorean. I think I've said before, I like the time machines, but it is kind of nice to have like a different version of the DeLorean. Another fantasy car with Roland Solo here. GMC Hummer EV. And this one has some really nice details on the front and the back as well. Really nice representation of the actual car. We have the 86 Ford Thunderbird Pro Stock in this blue here. To me, I think this is the best color we've had of this car so far. Really brings out a lot of the details you couldn't see on the pink and on the white. And I think this tampo set really adds to it. Almost gives it a, well, it does. It gives it an 80s feel. Right. And the last one I got in this box was the Automobili Pininfarina Battista. And, you know, I've seen this one on the pegs, and I've not really paid much attention to it. But now that I have it in hand, I really like it. This is just a really cool car anyway. It's got a really good, some really good body lines. And the way they did this one almost reminds me of like the California Custom series that Hot Wheels did in the 90s. Maybe not because it looks like a Cali car. Almost kind of gives me a Miami Vice vibe too, but just kind of an old school, like a retro feel to it with these tampos. Even this writing down here kind of gives you that. But really detailed overall. And the wheel choice lends itself well to that. So I think this has been a really good casting so far. Kind of, I don't know if it'll ever be super popular, but it's just a really good looking car, and to me, kind of underrated for the work that's went into it. Since I did pop some e-cases this morning and got some treasure hunts, I'll go ahead and show. If there had been a treasure hunt in this one, this would have been it. I did get this from a store. This did not come in the black box, just so you know. And just to show, the treasure hunts will have a flame logo on them somewhere. Flame logo doesn't mean that they're a treasure hunt necessarily. They'll also have the flame logo on the card, and if it's a US card, it will have the writing down here. So just to give you an idea of that. Usually there's about one of these in every case. Sometimes they miss one. This one was really cool because there's a couple of variations of this car. And this has the darker chrome. The other ones I have a shinier chrome. Camera don't pick it up real good, but I like this version a lot. So, I think that's about all to say about these cars here. Just a quick little thing about the black boxes. Of course, if you've the F-Case video has been doing really well, really popular, so most of you have probably seen it. If you haven't, I'll leave a card here at the end of the video where you can go check out the black box playlist. I'll also leave a link in the description if you're interested in picking up your own black box. I'll leave a link to where you can order that. And let's see, I think this is the 6th one that I've got this year, and which this is the first year that they've done them as far as I know. But in my 6 boxes, I have got I've got 2 super treasure hunts and 4 regular treasure hunts. I do feel like the odds for getting supers in these is pretty good. I kind of am feeling a little underwhelmed as we go on because I did hit 2 supers early. So it's starting, the longer I get away from that, kind of the less fresh in my mind it feels. Which, if you've been collecting Hot Wheels very long, you know that kind of happens anyway. You hit slumps, and then your luck picks up, and you can hit some stuff pretty good sometimes. So, overall, I'll give the same standard deal that I usually do with these. These end up costing me around $1.77 per car. My local store is anywhere from $118 to $150 plus tax. So, the price is a little hefty, but it's not too far off. If you live somewhere where you can't go through, good stock regularly, this is probably a good deal for you. You're not having to drive anywhere, and you're getting guaranteed new cars every case, which is more than once a month. They do 15 cases a year, so not too bad. Especially if you're considering you're not having to spend gas money to go out and look for them. So, that right there, the way gas goes, sometimes you're actually saving money doing this, or you can. So I think that's about all, really. Nothing I've not said before. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you have any other ideas or other things you'd like to see, leave those in the comments as well. Thank y'all so much for your support. If you haven't already, please give this video a like and give us a subscribe if you haven't. If you know anybody that might find this video useful, please share it with them. And guys, hope everybody's having a great week, and happy hunting, y'all.